So y'all, today I'm just winging this, okay? I was gonna write some notes, some little bullet points, but I know I'm gonna go on a tangent and talk about other things, especially as people come in. I don't even know if people are gonna come in, but hey, this video or this live will be uploaded to my oh goodness. Oh, my stomach. Okay. So, um today we are talking about how isolation can really like affect your progress in life, can affect your manifestation, can affect um can affect what you want and you desire in life. um Let me go get my lip gloss real quick, okay? Be right back. I'm still here, y'all, in the background. Okay, so how isolation, what we want to call it, being in hermit mode, okay? Um, in tarot, there's a card, the hermit card, and when it flips out upright or whatever, people put these different like warning signs or meanings to the cards, right? Reverse or upright. This is my favorite lip gloss. I love red. Red's my favorite color, as you could tell. Um, so, wish I had a cigarette. Look, got my coffee. Like my grandma, y'all. My grandma used to drink her coffee early in the morning. Real early in the morning. The house would be smelling like cigarette smoke. It wasn't them nasty cigarettes. Like there's some cigarettes that smells nasty, that has like a gasoline smell, and there's some cigarettes that's like, she had got the expensive cigarettes. I think there was like some type of Newports, but they was like in an all green aqua carton. I think they were Newports. There was something, I don't know if there was Newports or it was something that was, I don't know. Anyway, it was like in an aqua green box. And when she would like drink her coffee in the morning, my grandma used to just like smoke her cigarette. She'd be watching her news, and it just bring back, when I smell that type of cigarette or that type of aroma, just tobacco in general. When I smell tobacco, it just, I revert back to my grandma, like, and her drinking her coffee and stuff. And when I drink coffee, kind of got addicted to coffee a little bit. No, I ain't addicted. I ain't gonna say that I ain't addicted. We ain't gonna speak that into existence. But I'll crave coffee more, and it could be I need to give my ancestors some coffee, because it could be them channeling through me. Yes, if you have an ancestor altar, if you don't have an ancestor altar, I advise making one. This is a spiritual channel. Welcome in. If you're watching, subscribe, like, whatever. But if you don't have, it don't even matter if you adopted, if you was an orphan or whatever, right? You are assigned, some ancestors are assigned to you to lead you and guide you through certain stages of life. I mean, your ancestors are always going to be with you. Your spirit guides, your angels, you're always going to have the crew. You know what I'm saying? I got my goons with me. But they're always going to be with you, okay? But certain things, once you get an ancestor altar, there are certain things, even if you are really, really connected, like if they're also transitioning, this is also something too. When they just passed away, or you are connected to them in certain type of ways, like you may have their watch, you may have their glasses, you may have their scarf or a piece of clothing. You may have their chair they used to sit in. Their energy is still really strong near you, so you can start to taste like coffee in your mouth, or just to let you know that they're there. You can start to, smell cigarette smoke. You can start to think of a memory that they're giving you. They're trying to, somebody in your family trying to tell you something about some type of memory, and trying to help you connect the dots. And this is kind of tied into the isolation, and I'm gonna trickle into that real quick. So when you have an ancestor altar, it's very, very, very prevalent that they're around you, because you are feeding them energy. They're no longer trying to utilize energy around you, your energy, your partner's energy, your kids' energy. They don't try to do it on purpose, like zap you, but especially if you're going through a trying time, they're really trying to touch you. I'm not trying to say like touch you physically, but they're really trying to give you advice. They're really trying to guide you. Certain things fall in your house. You may get freaked out. My house haunted. Your house may be haunted, but anyway, let me stop. I have a lot of dark humor, y'all, so excuse me. Yes. Yeah, so you have ancestors, so you're feeding them, and they literally can get that energy, use that energy, and literally help you move mountains. I'm telling you. But anyway, isolation. So when you are isolated for long periods of time, going back to the Hermit card, upright, you need to get in isolation. You need to reflect. You need to balance yourself out. You need to be more aware of you, learn how to be more aware of yourself, tap into your gifts, your talents, who you are, your destiny, whoever, whatever, right? And also tap into spirit in your higher self. Now, there's times, and I'm telling you by experience, there are times where they're saying, get your ass up. There are times when they're in front of you, behind you, to the side, front, back, side. No, I'm playing. There are times when they saying, all right, that's enough. You get up. Come on. But they do understand, and I understand, when you go through a trying time, or you're going through trying times, you're stressed, you're on fight or flight, you're in survival mode, you're going through a lot, and everything's chaotic in your home, in your house, in your life. And this is why sometimes they tell you to get into isolation, so you can figure out what to do, so you can listen to the direction, to get quiet for a second, to get away from the chaos. That's your little mini vacation. But sometimes you gotta get back in there and get back to work. All right, I gave you the guidance. I gave you what you need to do. I told you this, A, B, and C, D. Now, let's go. Let's get going. And then when a lot of times people tend to stay in that isolation and things get tough, that resistance become very, very gooey. Very, very just, it's like quicksand. You get into that quicksand, you slowly, every time you move, every time you try to say, get off me, I know I'm gonna stay here, you sink. Every time you move, think about quicksand. Every time you move, you sink a little bit more faster. But when you stay still and you like, okay, let me think how I'm gonna get myself out of it. Okay, there's a vine hanging from the tree. Let me pull on this vine, and I'm gonna slowly pull myself out. And that's the thing about alchemy. When you are in isolation and it's time to get out, you want to go back because, for one, I'm all over the place, y'all, so bear with me. One, you want to go back. Number one, I'm going to say number one. I'm going to write this down so I don't lose track, because y'all. All right, Spirit, help me get this going. Okay, so number one, when you're in isolation, you become more sensitive to things around you. Think, if you are familiar with the Bible, or have you ever read the Bible, talk to ChatGPT and just say, hey, Chat, or hey, Google, What is it? What is the scripture in the Bible where it talks about, I think it was Moses going in the tent and he comes out with his face and he's glowing, and he's brighter, and he just got revelation, right? Same thing for us. When you go into isolation, you become more sensitive. Your boundaries are down a little bit. You come out of that isolation. You're supposed to come out of that isolation shining with wisdom, with knowledge. But when we're so stuck in the sunken place, what happens is we tend to say we freak out when we go into an environment. And we run away. You don't know what that is. You don't know what that feeling is. I don't know why I'm freaking out. I don't know. I think this is anxiety. I need to go to the doctor. And I'm not a doctor. I don't have no psychiatrist degree or whatever that is, certificate. I don't know. But this is from my experience. And maybe you have felt this too. You become more sensitive to everybody's energy around you. Your sixth sense is activated because you have to be in contact with spirit. When you are when you are in isolation, you're still not listening. That is up to you. That is you. It ain't God. It ain't spirit. It ain't nobody. You go back into now. You're not even ready. But when you are calm and realize, okay, I was just away for a while, so that's why everything around me just feels I'm desensitized to everything, or not desensitized, but I'm sensitive to everything, everybody's emotions, everybody's feelings. I am tapped in, tuned in right now. Okay, that's what that is. That's all it is. Number 2. When we are in isolation for too long, hopefully you're taking notes. When you are in isolation for too long, you allow the negativity that spirit was trying to get you away from, you allow it to consume you. Mind you, your guard is down, you're vulnerable, right? Spirit is talking to you. Hey, da, da, da. But then there's other spirits that try to get into the mix. The negative spirits. The low vibrational self. Your shadow self. All this negativity, all the spirits, the entity that you done created by the fear, by the hurt, by the pain, by the trauma. You created this monster now. And now every time you go out, that monster is hanging over your, look, I'm about to cuss. That monster is hanging over your head or behind you or side of you, just whispering, because you done made it your friend. You let it consume you. You let it be you. You let it integrate. You were supposed to be in training. You were supposed to get your tools so when you go back out into the battlefield, which is this world. I'm not saying the creations of what the higher beings made. No, what I'm saying is the people is start the battlefield. The field was just a field, but people want to go on the battlefield to do what they need to do, right? Kill, steal, and destroy. So, number 2, you allow it to consume you. The monster is following you everywhere. So you see the monster in every single thing. That is the reflection. Because spirit would also, the good spirits, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, will also allow it to be so you can see the reflection on what you need to heal. What you need to let go. What you need to stop letting consume you. Okay? For example, you got out of a bad relationship or you broke up. It don't have to be bad. You just ended a relationship. Your boyfriend broke up with you. Your girlfriend broke up with you. Y'all broke up. Now you sad. Now you going through it, going through the motions. You in hermit mode. You in isolation. You getting reflections. You're building back up. You're supposed to be building back up your vibration. You feel hurt, but you gotta alchemize that pain into something. Write poetry, dance, get on live, create something. Because out of pain, something blessed and something magical can be birthed. Think about pregnancy. Women go through a whole lot of pain, but she births this blessing. She births this baby, this healthy, beautiful, bouncing baby. Same thing with pain. That is how you have to look at it. Yes, my boyfriend broke up with me. Yes, my girlfriend broke up with me. Yes, he cheated, whatever, whatever, whatever. But what tools do you have to alchemize it? If you don't have any tools, you're not listening to spirit. You're not listening to none of your people. You're a lost cause. You're just walking around. Maybe you're not even walking around. You're just afraid of everything. You're afraid of relationships now. This goes to number 3. Number 3, you don't know how to communicate no more. Since you are sensitive now, you came out of hiding. You are sensitive to everybody's energy. You could be hearing their thoughts. You a portal right now. Okay, you may be hearing their thoughts. You may be whatever, and you're afraid, and you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if this person, are they playing games with me? Are you're assuming all these things. You're making just, what's it called? Self-fulfilled prophecies. You afraid of relationships because, like I said, you allow the negativity consuming you. Now you have this entity telling you you ain't good enough in a relationship. All you're gonna do is hurt you. And this could be your ego. You created this ego, right? And the ego's acting like it's protecting you, but it is you in itself. But it's the fear. It's not even protection. It's not. It's an illusion. So you should, while you was in isolation, you should have known or realized what manipulation looks like. What, when somebody's playing games, looks like. What it is, if this person, what a cheater looks like. When somebody's serious with you looks like. Because when you are in isolation, when you are in a reflection, you're supposed to be reflecting on what went wrong in that past relationship. And what I am not going to tolerate, deal with, and how can I choose better next time? You see, now the pain lessened because you're reflecting. Instead of allowing the emotion, yes, process your emotion, cry, scream, go to the mountaintops. Don't fall off, okay? We ain't even doing that. Okay? Don't fall off. Scream, dance, cry, whatever. Go to the lake. I don't know. Take a spiritual bath, whatever. Get it all out. Get it all out. Reflect now. I got it. I know this A, B, C, and D. I know, but I'm still going to enjoy my life with connections. Because when you are in isolation for so long, you become an introvert. And maybe you are an introvert, but you still crave connection in some type of way. You may be an introvert, maybe you may want a person who's introverted like you. Y'all can literally sit on the couch and not say a word. It doesn't mean you got to be alone. You're just like you. Their energy is like, I like my space, you like your space. We're going to be quiet. We're going to watch this movie. We're going to eat our popcorn. Y'all not saying a dang word. I've seen people like this. And they have a great friendship and a great relationship. Ain't nobody calling and saying, why you haven't even talked to me in a long time or anything like that. You call them up and they just be like, oh yeah, they know they know that you in the house, you like your space, you don't like talking like that and stuff like that. Same thing for them. You gotta find somebody like that instead of trying to befriend people who is not like you. Y'all know that song, Use Me? No, not Use Me. Use Somebody. I love that song because in my times where I was craving connection, craving friendships, craving bonds, craving fun with people. I would put that song on. You somebody. I love that song. Oh my gosh. But someone like me, somebody. Yes, that's my song, y'all. So you got to get out of that. A lot of people don't know how to communicate now because of social media, because of these electronics and things like that. You have to learn how to have talk. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. I was talking to somebody about this. A lot of people don't know how to communicate no more because they're communicating online. They don't know when they don't know how to have eye contact with nobody, and that is social media, electronics, all this stuff is great. It helps us every day. But too much of something isn't good. You isolate because I'm watching TV, because I'm on my electronic, because I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But honestly, really reflect. Okay, is it because you're isolating because you're afraid of being hurt again, and you don't want to have relationships because every time you get into a relationship is this and that? But when you are reflecting, are you learning? When you are in isolation, are you learning how not to get back in those same relationships? If you are not, you need to get you you need to be learning, or it's going to take a different toll. It's you. Because like I said before in my previous videos, an evil person is an evil person. They are who they are. They accepted it. They walk it, they smell it, they breathe it, they eat it. They're evil. A narcissist is a narcissist. They don't care. They don't care. So why are you not caring about why are you not caring about your happiness? You want their connections. You want to talk to people. You see yourself in a relationship, a great relationship. But if you are not learning, you are not reflecting, you are not learning how not to be in a bad relationship, not learning anything about yourself, your likes and dislikes, you're going to choose the wrong person each and every time. Friends, relationships, whatever, bosses, jobs, you're going to choose the wrong things every time. Okay? So number 3 was, what was number 3? I don't remember. Let me drink some more coffee. That's why I got to freaking write this down, because like I said, I don't be remembering. Ooh. This cappuccino tastes so good. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Isolation. When you are in isolation for too long, you know you're supposed to get your butt out of it and live life. Envy, jealousy, evil eye starts to transpire. You start to, while you sitting up in the corner, rocking back and forth. Let me stop. And you're looking at your friends or people that you know that you went to school with, or just people in general. You're comparing yourself because you don't know yourself. Maybe you do know yourself, because a lot of times, how we know ourselves is what we also are jealous of somebody having. You want that type of relationship? Well, make it happen. Don't take theirs, but make it happen. You want to go travel and things like that? Make it happen. It ain't going to just jump out the phone screen and now you on a beach. No. So put the phone down and figure out ways that you could be on the beach. Figure out ways that you can get that man. Whether it's showing up on one of these dating gurus lives out here. I love me some Ashley Dalton. I love me some Shira. I love me some Magical Lady Duchess. Well, she's not a dating guru, but she has some videos talking about stuff like that. But especially in her lives. And some other people. So my thing is, why are you not making it happen? Why are you not doing the work to have what you know that is for you too? I don't get it. When you're in isolation too long, you tend to become a jealous person because you're not living the life that you want to live. Hateful, jealous, evil person. That's how it can turn into, right? Because you're not happy. That's your fault that you want to stay stuck and continue to be in the sunken place. It ain't nobody else's fault unless somebody actually holding you captive with chains around your ankles. But other than that, if you got a job and you want to go to the beach, go on vacation, you want to go to Dubai, whatever, why aren't you learning about financial literacy? Why aren't you putting $50 aside every paycheck? Why? Do you know when you do your taxes, you know when every time you get a job or when you have a job, you need to discover this now. When you have a job, you you should be doing tax withholding if you want to live the life that you want to live. You work a 9-to-5 job, you need to sign up for the tax withholding. You get to put an amount that you want to withhold from your check. And if you don't have anything that you got to pay back at the end of the year, you get that back in a refund. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's what I looked up on ChatGPT. That's what she told me. Okay? That is your way to go on vacations, have that bag, have the life you want, whatever. Tax withholding. That's you putting money aside behind the scenes. Okay? That's a little tidbit. What's another thing? So number 4 was jealousy, envy, evil eye. Another thing is we don't want to get jealous and envy while we're in isolation because we're transforming into that low vibrational energy. That will bounce back. That will literally bounce back to you. If you are, especially if those people are protected in some type of way, that is bouncing back to you. And a lot of times people become crazy. There's a lot of people in isolation, they become crazy because they're not living the life that they want and they're looking at other people's life, and all of a sudden now they on the show called Fatal Attraction and Snap and stuff. Most Wanted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay? When you're in high school for too long, you looking at other people's life. Got some thoughts. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else, Spirit? Is there anything else? And I'm going to pull some cards for today before we close. Anything else, Spirit, about being in isolation? When you're in isolation. Oh, there we go. Here's the last one. Lack of confidence. You hide yourself more. You're afraid of everything. And that kind of ties back into the being sensitive to your environment. But this is something a little bit different. You lack confidence. Okay, you let negativity consume you. You're more sensitive to your environment. You lack communication. You become jealous and envy and have evil eye. And now that all trickles down to you lose your confidence. You lose your personal power. You become a victim. You allow everybody to you since you're a victim. Check out my last video. My last video is something like talking about victim. I don't know, but look at some. Look at all of them. Listen to all of them. Okay. Anything that catches your eye. But you lack the confidence, my women, who are in isolation for too long. Since you are losing the light and you are consumed by the dark, you tend to lose that magnetism that you so wholly seek, and envy from other women, your seduction, your feminine energy, the beauty, because beauty and all that stuff reigns in the light. Think about somebody going to jail. They're controlled, they're captured now, they can't live their life, they can't do nothing. They only have their fantasies in their head. Right? And they can talk to the inmates about their fantasies and congratulating each other and even doing the work to make that fantasy bring about. Meaning, instead of like isolating, so like, oh, I'm a this and that, they call their parents up every single day. They talk to their loved one or their girlfriend, boyfriend. They talk to their kids. They write letters. They write letters back. And that fantasy continues to give them hope. But when they act up because they allow the negativity consume, and I understand I understand people be in jail and people like to fuck with them and try to fight them for no damn reason, right? That's something different. But what I'm saying is that you started it, you knew you could have handled it in a different way, and now you're getting put in the hole. Or now the people getting put in the hole. And that hole is very dark. You can't see nothing. I don't know what holes, every hole look like in jail nowadays, but the holes that I've seen on movies and stuff, they get put in the dark. They can't see. There's no light in there. And then when they see the light, they're scrunching up their eyes and, oh my gosh, like the light is so freaking beautiful. That's part of it. Beauty is part of that light. Women who've been in isolation for too long, they lose themselves. They don't know who they are anymore. They eating too much because they're trying to feel something. Maybe suppress something. Eating too much, gaining too much weight, wearing clothes that makes them look like they let themselves go, and allow everybody to just take advantage, having multiple babies because they think the person is in love with it. You know what I mean? Same thing for men. Men being in isolation for too long, you can't even walk with your head held high. You walk with your head down, shoulders slump, hoodie on your head, like you finna rob a store. Not saying that you are a robber, but you can't talk to a man, another grown man, with confidence, with power, with zest, knowing that you are something in this world and you are meant to be here. I am king and I'm a walking king. Same thing for women. I'm a walking queen. Isolation can, for too long, can suppress the beauty. You don't even know what to even do with the light when you do see it. And a lot of time when people do see the light, they don't want to go. Same thing with spirits. They be walking around here, earthbound and everything. They don't want to go to the light. They won't let go. They won't let go. They won't let go of the victimhood. They won't let go. Like, let go. And when they go to the light, now the light has consumed them. And the whole time of them letting go, man, if I would have let go, I could have made whatever I want to make. I can change my identity. And you can. If you want to change your name, because you know you have, this is what I'm saying, you knew every time your parents yelled at you, they said your name. And you don't like when people call you that name. So I've talked to men like this. Haven't really met a woman yet, but I've talked to men like this. They will make themselves have a nickname, and I'm like, that ain't your real name. That's not your real name. And then they'll just, because me being a healer, they'll tell me why they have this nickname. Because my dad and da-da-da. There's pain in that. Why they changed their name. And that's all right. That's all right. If that nickname gives you the confidence, gives you a new identity, take it. Own it. Work with it. But when you be in isolation for too long, creating this victimhood, you don't have control over the reality, your reality, no more. Victimhood is all about the other person hurting you over and over and over and over and over. When are you going to stop? When are you going to get out of isolation? When are you going to say it's time? When are you going to listen to spirit, your higher self, and listen to them say it's time? Time is up. You reflected long enough. Now it's time to get out there. You've been talking to me about going to the beach and going on vacation. You've been talking about you wanted to live life and have this relationships and whatever it is. Now it's time to live it. You be in isolation, you ain't gonna live nothing. So that's my take on why being in isolation can have its downfalls. Being in isolation for too long can have its downfalls. But yeah, y'all have a good day.